Holy hell, here we are. It is the post-match fan interactive. Liverpool beat Nottingham Forest 1-0. Darwin Nunez, 99th minute of the game. And the Reds are still top of the league. And it is time for me to take a bit more of a backseat and leave the floor open to you guys for your reaction to this. Interact with me, please do. Feel free. Use the YouTube chat. You can tweet us. Have we got the Frank? Can we get the laptop screen up? We've got a tweet over on our Twitter account that looks like this. It just says Nunez 1-0 thoughts. Put a reply in there, and I'll get some of the good ones of them up as well. If you are a legend tier subscriber on Redmen Plus, you can use the Discord as well. Wow, I haven't quite. I can't believe I'm actually just here doing a show instead of cartwheeling around on the floor and basically drinking my body weight in alcohol. In the good way. Wow. Yes. Okay. I'm going to try to get through this one. Let's see how we get on. First of all, we've got Antanzi just says, nice one, WA. Feel like you might have undersold this a touch there, mate. Lee Wiz Kid says, that was cutting it fine, even by our standards. It was. Yeah, it really was. There's going to come a point where you can probably have a Liverpool player name, a score and a minute for... There probably is now, isn't there? You know, under Jurgen Klopp, there's probably one for every minute. Could someone do the working out on that for me? 90 plus minute winners for Liverpool. Is this the latest one we've had? And have we got one for 91, 92, 93, all the way up to is it 98 or 99 for this one? If anyone can work that out for me, do let me know. That'd be great. Adam Harrison says, can we please mention performance and assist at the end, please? Man of the match. Alexis Mac Allister, I guess, that's what we're talking about. Yes, brilliant. Obviously, we all just want to combust with love for Darwin Nunez and everything he is. But Alexis Mac Allister was great. And the amount of times he won the ball back and started counter-attacks, his vision, the best chances of the game, I think, maybe not all of them, but the ones that stand out in my mind came from some of his goals. There's a great one where Luis Diaz in the first half gets played over the top. That's Alexis Mac Allister in particular. He was really, really good. You know, and we're seeing him more in his natural position. You know, he's done a phenomenal job at 6 for us. But it's telling that, you know, we had there were a couple of little things that Liverpool could have done. They could have shuffled the pack and ended up with Mac Allister at DM for that game. And they chose not to. They chose to keep him in the attacking midfielder slot, and it ultimately paid dividends. He's brilliant. It's an absolute steal. I'm not the first person to say this, and I won't be the last. But we got an absolute bargain. You know, Dominic Szoboszlai will draw the eye. You know, there's so much talent in potential in Ryan Gravenberch. People have got Wataru Endo as their real cult hero at the moment. But Alexis is just going about the business of being a brilliant footballer, almost whatever position we put him on the pitch, and to be able to create that chance right at the death. To have that he's meant to overhit that or drastically underhit it. But as it is, and Darwin gets the credit because his movement is sensational. But the last minute, chips it down, throwing a ball in that kind of space. That's one of the hardest passes to play in football, by the way, is a diagonal over the top, particularly with such a small section of grass to hit behind the defender. It's genius. He's brilliant. Andy App echoes probably what we're all feeling right now. I'm still trying to process what we've just seen. Fucking love this team, man. Yeah, no, Andy, yeah. Nigel says, oh my days, great job, Mac Allister to Darwin. Yep. The Brit Sniper, I haven't seen coming from you in a while, mate. Welcome back. You might have been here, I've just not been here. 3 clean sheets in a row for Kelleher. Man's a beast, stepping up when we need him. Yeah, and you know what, you're right, I'd not even thought about Kelleher's performance. It's interesting because I still contend that the one in the first half is probably offside. It doesn't. The stats say it wasn't, so he still had to save it, and the referee didn't blow, so it's technically still a moment. And in that context, it's a huge save at 0-0. And he makes another couple of really, really good saves in the game as well. Yeah, he's a very, very good goalie. A very good goalie. We're blessed to have 2 of the best in the league. We've got the best in the world, and we've got one of the best in the league as his understudy. Great. Antan says, beautiful Liverpool in WA. Ethsham Hull Hassan Remember when people were saying that Nunez couldn't win us the league because he's not Haaland? Yeah, look, idiots chat idiots all the time. You know, everyone's desperate because we live in this era where everyone's got to have an opinion on something at all times, and a lot of people feel like they need to die on the hill of these opinions. The beauty of life is finding new information and it changing something for you, whether that's a huge sort of life-changing epiphany or whether it's just something you go, okay, I'll look at this from a different perspective. Darwin Nunez is mad, and we've been back and forth on. We've had countless conversations about Darwin Nunez since he joined the club, but he's been better this season than last season, and we've known that for quite a while, I think. And as much as he still had those missed opportunities, you could just see what he was doing in his all-round play. And if he was just a guy who sits at the tip of the spear in a number 9 position for Liverpool Football Club and his job was just to kick the ball in the back of the net, we might have had a little issue with him. But it's actually everything he does. Look at what he's like when he comes on the pitch. And the Agent of Chaos thing seems to be, I don't know, it's a bit like, you know, it's a nickname, it's a bit twee, it's a bit like a backhanded sort of compliment, bit of slap and tickle in there. Because it implies that he isn't, it's like we used to put their couch work rate, whereas he was just a really good footballer. He made stuff happen for us. He made us a more potent attacking threat. Every time he got on the ball, it got Forest on edge. And then ultimately just that one little moment, you know, his all-round centre-forward play across the season has been sensational. He's now getting the goals as well to add to that. We've got a great striker there, a great one. A few people commented about how we were a little late doing this show. So yeah, Nigel, I was recording my individual reaction to it. Please go and check that out when we're done with this. That'll be up on YouTube. If you think I'm struggling with this, screaming the house down when the goal, then doing a 5-minute video, just me and my phone. I'm trying my best to keep myself composed here. Right. Sham again says El Panthera is giving me the same feels that El Pistolero did. It's an evolved Liverpool team, which means it's time for Darwin. Good stuff. Right, cool. We've got loads here in YouTube. I will come back to them in a moment. So I'm going to grab a couple from X.com, brackets formerly known as Twitter. First one from LFC Seattle. I'm going to need to turn the overlay on to make this work, I think, which it doesn't want to. Okay, we can just, Frank, just pull this up on the screen for now. Thanks, mate. Full time, says LFC Seattle. I can't even. They make you start to doubt it all. Disbelief creeps in, a feeling of dread and foreboding, and then that last minute, pull it out of the fire, salvage the title hopes, the moment where hope and belief are restored. I heart them all. Yes, we heart them all. Look, I know, and brilliantly written, brilliantly expressed. I don't know why we allow ourselves not to believe. Because the thing is, I did have a moment where they had a couple of attacks, and particularly that Elanga missed chance. Last year, that goes in. And it sounds stupid to say that because he puts it wide. But, like, you know, just a general feeling and vibe. Liverpool had played that game so many times last year and didn't only not win it, they lost it. And it was, we dropped a stupid amount of points because things just conspired against you. And bear in mind, we had nothing like the injury issues we're suffering at the moment, even though we did obviously have injury issues throughout the season, and are really, really sort of tired and overworked and, you know, aged midfield. But outrageous. I mean, absolutely outrageous. It's mad, isn't it, that we feel like we're back here again, that it's like this salvage the title hopes. The context has shifted for who Liverpool are. So in my time of supporting Liverpool, and maybe your time as well, by the way, LFC Seattle, salvaging title hopes was always like you maybe 5 points back, and it would just, you know, maybe that was just enough to keep you in the context in the contest. Salvaging title hopes is, you know, we'd have been although City would have had a game in hand and the opportunity to go above us on Sunday, we'd have still been top of the league, but that's the knife edge we're on. And, you know, this side have got themselves there, and right now they're keeping themselves there as well. Just absolutely unbelievable. I love them. I love each and every one of them. It's absolutely incredible. Right. Okay, let me just get this one up from Funko Man. I've got this working now, mate. Funko Man says, my thought is this game and the Newcastle one alone is 5 points. Nunez has won this team on his own, and any doubters should shush if in a couple of games he misses an opportunity. Gave us all this season. He's young, and I think he's only going to get better as time goes on. Listen, I want to be clear on this on Darwin Nunez. If he only stays this good, he's going to be a very, very good Premier League striker and forward in general. I mean, he's having, by any metric of a centre forward, Darwin Nunez is having a really, really good season. He just happens to be in a league where Erling Haaland's in there. He happens to be in a side that often contains, more often than not, contains Mohamed Salah. So what are you going to do? Ultimately, keep working hard for the team. He's doing the stuff that Roberto Firmino was doing. He's got more assists, I think, now, clearly, well more. I think that's right. I'll double check this, because I remember taking a look at this a couple of months back. I think he's got more assists than Firmino had in the Champions League winning season. I'll double check that, but I think that to be true. Darwin is absolutely different gravy. Absolutely sensational stuff. Now, I don't think Transfer Market's updated this. I think it's 14 goals he's now on in all comps for us. But he was on 13 goals and 11 assists in all comps this season, which is just that's a really, really good return. There's most clubs would absolutely bite your arm off for someone who was that good, is what I'd say on that one. Right, okay, let me remember where I was and crack back on with all of this good stuff. Twitter, that's where I was, right. Jax_MCL says, this was, brackets hopefully, the last game Klopp had to get a win by any means due to injuries. Considering our lineup, it's a great result. If the team wins the league, there's always one or two wins that come in that way. A last-minute winner is a positive one, disheartened City and Arsenal. That last point is spot on, Jax. Steve mentioned it at the end of the watch-along. Whether the City players or the Arsenal players are tuned in, and obviously the fact that it's a 3 p.m. kickoff means, unless they've all got Fire Sticks, which they probably have, and probably far better setups than we've got, they might even have club feeds at home, which is a possibility. Certainly, Arsenal and City fans around the world, well, Arsenal fans, will have flicked over to check that out. Dying embers of the game. Liverpool about to drop points, and I know we had a bunch of people join in the watch along. To them, great, because look, we've been here on the receiving end of this, where I turned countless Man City games on where they were leading the pack and hoping that something had come undone, and then they just pulled something out. They've been doing it this season as well. That Newcastle game where Newcastle absolutely fell apart. Yeah, really annoying. So yeah, I love it when the shoe's on the other foot. I really, really do. And to the point, going back to to talk around a couple of the messages we've had so far. Man United, Man City tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that game because I like football. I like just watching football matches, and especially some that have got a little bit of stakes as well. That game has got all pressure-free stakes for Liverpool fans now. We can just watch that game and expect City to win because they're much better than Man United. Man United are terrible, and that is joyous in and of itself. If Man United get something, amazing. Absolutely amazing. And if they don't, when we get to laugh at Man United losing the game of football, that is a pretty nice bookend for me to a weekend. They have lost as well. Yes, let me see if we can get a couple more here from Twitter before we go back to the YouTube chat. Poor says, and hopefully we have done, says, give credit to Maca also. I hope we have done that. Michael Dumbbell says, stuff of champions, on to Prague and City, up the Reds. Yeah, and that's another one. We're still not out the woods. We've still got players coming back to fitness. We've still got a ton of footballers out injured as well. We just need to keep this going. We're not out of the woods yet. That was a huge one, and we've managed to scrape through. But, we can afford to... Ultimately, we can afford to draw or narrowly lose in Prague as a worst-case scenario and still be in a reasonable shape, to take them back to Anfield, particularly with the no away goals rule anymore. So yeah, that's fine, but we've still got to contend in that competition. And I hope we give it a good go because I'm going to that one. And then of course, Man City next weekend. J Langhorn photo here says, "What hair I've got left has gone grey, and I don't care." That is massive. Come on. And Pisto here says, "Kelleher Nunez man of the match. Gakpo had no business being in that starting lineup. Dan's did better in a few minutes that he played than Cody." Yeah, look, I don't like this Cody slander that seems to be coming out of the woodwork. Cody Gakpo has played his role this season. Cody Gakpo deserves to be in Liverpool sides. He's not there as a competition winner. He's not, he's scored goals for Liverpool this season. He just has. And last season, when he got a run of games, he was good. I'm not going to sit here and say he was good today, and it's a couple of games where he's really not. He's just not impressed. His decision-making's not been great. He looks like he's fallen between the stools that Liverpool need him to be. I'd like to see him just play as a number 9 a bit more. Getting around the box a bit more. Direct run at defenders a little bit more because he can do it. But it's not quite worked out for Cody Gakpo. But look, Darwin Nunez is able to come onto that pitch. Make no mistake, he's able to come on and impact that game in the way he does because Cody Gakpo is on the pitch for the game that goes leading up to that point. Darwin could have started, and he probably would have started in place of Cody, and then you bring in Cody on at the end. Things work for a reason. When it works, you got to give the manager credit. He's made a good decision, and it was close, but we've gotten away with it for this game. But yeah, look, Liverpool are a squad, and that squad has performed brilliantly together. They've done the business, and to then turn our attentions to like slagging a footballer off or whatever. We've no time for that today, even though we've just given it time. Right, back to YouTube. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. E- says Kelleher unsung hero too. Absolutely. Phil Wilkinson says Newcastle later. What's that? Who are they playing? They playing Arsenal. Is that tomorrow? Is that later? Or is that no? I don't know. Oh, they won. Oh, yeah, sorry, Newcastle won, whatever. Oh, sorry, Newcastle later. I said, right, in terms of how late the goal was. There we go. We've been a lot of conversations happened on this show already. Right, okay, sound. From agony to ecstasy, Paul, imagine being us, says Rich Froggatt. Honestly, I wouldn't swap for the world. Not that I could. It's a lifelong thing at this point. Yeah, we're blessed. Absolutely blessed. And it's funny because there was never a choice. I never really thought about being a Liverpool fan. It was just a thing that you do. It's like I didn't get to choose my surname. Like it's those things. Just lucky, really, to be a Liverpool fan, and we all are because they give us these moments more than most do. Just, beyond lucky. Dickie Oy Red is grinning like an idiot at this team, man. Yeah, definitely, mate. Bruce Chua says, "Hi, mate. Greetings from Manila. Wow. Did you enjoy the thriller in Manila? What a game. I almost woke my wife up when Nunez scored. Lol. Maka was boss today, as were VVD and Canate. More players back from injury, looking good for the City game." I hope so. I really hope so. I thought that when we beat Chelsea and everyone was coming back and we were like, wow, this is just cheating. We're battering Chelsea. We got half our players out injured and then they all got injured again. So we'll see. David Kingman says, "Hey Paul, what's the whole watch along? I have no fingernails left. Your reaction woke my mother up." Roll on match of the day tonight. Absolutely. That was going to be a good one to look forward to. Gosh, there's so many comments. Guys, thank you so much as always from the bottom of my heart for interacting with these and for watching. I'll just point out, I've got loads left, but do go and check out redmenplus.com. They're recording the instant match reaction in the other room right now with Chris and Steve. That's going to be a very, very good show. And they're doing player ratings. I'll be doing player rankings. If you want a more in-depth out of 10 type podcast, then the boys have got you covered over on redmenplus.com. Swapnil Kulkarni says Villa 1920 vibes, and this was even later in the game. That goal must have absolutely deflated City and Arsenal. Here's hoping, my friend. Jack Richardson with the super chat says, "Afternoon, Reds. I was finishing my shift and escorting a lovely Polish couple to the exit with phone in hand when Nunez nodded in. Good times, YNWA." Yeah, but did you just jump around and hug them and they had no idea what was going on? I'm going to imagine that's exactly what happened. Lee Said says, Nunez. Alexis was amazing. Thiago who? Ha ha ha. Why do we need to do that? He's our player. Buzzing. Kelleher was amazing again. Yeah, he was. Gin says, I hated that feeling in the 95th to 97th minute where we were mentally working out what a draw means, what a club. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, I've this in this job where you have to sort of start to prepare what you're going to, post-match, how you're going to talk about things, how you're going to, what the big discussion points are. And so, yeah, you're right, you gear yourself up for what does that mean? And how can I frame this? Is there any way that I can see it as like something, Man City have got to play Manchester United, it's a big game, derby, don't think it's dead and buried. Yeah, and then Liverpool just won, so it was fine. Yes, just great. Right, let's see what we got. Right. Deno says, Paul, you broke me with Alisson injury update, but I'm brill now. Yeah, look, this is the thing. We mentioned this on other shows. That stat that came out at the 11 that started the Champions League final in Madrid for Liverpool had never started a game together before. And everyone's like, no, that's not possible, because we've got it fixed in our head that your best 11 is your best 11 and it plays all the time. Your best 11 very rarely plays together. It's a constant shifting, roiling sea of activity and injuries and fitness and suspensions and sports science and substitutions. That's our season is with modern football squads. So with Liverpool as well, we've just got this uncanny thing where a hero goes out and you go, how are we going to do this? Surely this is the end. Dun, dun, dun. And like a good old pulp thriller, just a new hero emerges on the horizon. It's Dragon Ball movies when they're getting their shit kicked out of them, and there comes Piccolo from out of nowhere to just batter people with the newfound skill he's been training on his own with. It's Tien in the boot saga. I'm currently watching that at the moment. It's very fixed in my head. Liverpool have got new heroes constantly seem to find a way to rise up. It was Dan's in midweek. It was nearly Dan's again today. Kelleher's doing the same thing as well. And yeah, missing world-class players will undercut the ease with which you can get through your week-to-week sort of average games. You wouldn't put it past Jurgen Klopp Liverpool side to do it in the face of it, to be perfectly honest. Right. Okay, let me see what else we got. Dickioy Reds, just in defence of Gakpo, says no League Cup win without Gakpo. Scored 4 or 5 on the way. Absolutely. Henry H says people giving Gakpo pelters need to chill out, support the players and the team, or get out. Yeah, I mean, and even then, let's not even bother ourselves with this, like, support the team or get out. Just people support the team in a wild, varied number of ways, but like slandering our own players is just fucking mental. Just that can get in the bin. That demeanour around footy I find utterly baffling. If you've got hate for football, if you've got hate that needs to get out, Manchester City have got an entire squad. They're an entire football club built on cheating. You've got Man United. Everything about Manchester United, you could pour your scorn on that instead. Yeah, feels a bit like kicking them when they're down, but that's what your derby rivals are there for. Yeah. Right. Tyrone Fecho says, no injuries panned across 2 games. What a miracle. We fielded young'uns in both the FA game and this, giving our first team guys more time to slowly grow back into the team. Yes, that. And that's the thing. The squad players have stepped up. Diaz and Gakpo have carried this team over the last 2 or 3 weeks. They've carried it. Absolutely carried it. Diogo Jota being out injured is just huge. And like, we've not even really talked about him. Like, Salah's been out, and I know we were worried about him in the build-up, but all the build-up was about Salah and Darwin and Szoboszlai. Like, Jota out, big injury for him. And Gakpo and Diaz have been the men for us out. And, and obviously Virgil van Dijk as well, and Queven Kelleher. Brill. Kangi says, Mac, cool as a cucumber. He was supreme toward the end. He really was. What a footballer we've got there. Henry says, Salah is very Goku. Yeah, he is. Like the main guy, always going to be the strongest, always going to be the ones that ultimately win. But yeah, I agree with that one. Who's the Gohan, reckon? Trent? Is Trent Gohan? Maybe? Let me know. Apologies if you never watched Dragon Ball. This must sound like utter nonsense, but you should watch it. It's brilliant. Right, let me just check. We've got a couple here on... yeah, good point, Hardy. It's David, who's one of our Legend tier subscribers. And the Discord says, did we stop playing Darwin when he was hitting the bar every 45 seconds? No, we did not. We rode it out, and he's turned out to be a good footballer. If Cody Gakpo had never been good for Liverpool, I'd be more inclined to be more sceptical about his inclusion and maybe be slightly more critical, if not, hate-filled and bile-filled as some people are. Not saying the person before was hate and bile-filled, but just a general pervading sense of seeing across social media recently. Just got to ride it out. Cody Gakpo was brilliant for us last season, and he scored 11 goals for us this season. Yeah, and bear in mind that's is he like the fifth highest goal scorer for us, or fourth highest goal scorer for us? It's insane. No one else in the league has a fifth choice attacker who's as good as Cody Gakpo. Simple as that. Right. Let me just get one more from the Discord, and then just give a last chance to get your YouTube comments in as well. Here's a good one. Pardon me. From Rafa, mate, is this real? Still waiting for VAR to rule it out. I know, honestly. Yeah, it was like they were all celebrating the corner, all the referees knew remonstrating. I was like, is there any way they can pull this back? Because it's Liverpool, so if anyone was going to have it pulled back, it would be us. But yeah, no, it is. This is the real life. It is not just fantasy. Thomas Wilkinson with the super chat says, having my little boy on my shoulders as we scored, we both went nuts. When I put him down, he said, that was great, Dad, but I was afraid you would drop me. I think some people have that relationship with Darwin Nunez, right? Where they're like, I absolutely love you, mate, but I have to be honest, I did think you were going to miss. No, he's great. Absolutely brilliant. Nicholas, super chat. So, speaking of Dragon Ball Z, Haaland looks like he should be on planet Namek helping Frieza find the Dragon Balls, not to stoop to appearance-based jabs, but yeah, he looks like Majin Buu, mate. I'm not having anything other than that, to be perfectly honest, and a little bit like Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Very in the forehead. Caveman-like brow. He's fine. He's a good footballer, isn't he? Curtis is the Gohan, says Henry H. Let us know. Right, I'm going to call time on your reactions. Fabulous. You guys are brilliant. Do drop a like. And as mentioned, if you want more, honestly, I say this all the time. Maybe it falls on deaf ears. Maybe you've never heard me say it before. Redmenplus.com is absolutely amazing. We pour so much into that. So many podcasts, shows, documentaries, and there's 2 bonus shows going out right now, post-match, to fill your boots with. So if you need to just keep talking about this, Chris and Steve, Instant Match Reaction, and the Player Ratings podcast, head to redmenplus.com. Perfect time, because we're going to win so much this season. We just are. Be along with us on the journey on redmenplus.com. Nice one. Thank you so very, very much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. The season is now well underway. If you need extra Redmen content, be it podcasts, videos, documentaries, interviews, and general shows, fill your boots on redmenplus.com today.